Hi. Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm the founder of Loving My Veteran um, and the voice of Walking in My Shoes. We're a veteran advocacy group. Um, I'm also, as a result, have founded Project Your Voice. I'm a former military spouse, and now I'm married to a veteran. In 1991, I moved to Alameda, California as a proud Navy wife to live on base, and we raised our children there. Little did I know that the water that I was drinking was toxic. Who knew that the Kool-Aid I gave my children was toxic? 2020 was an interesting year, not just because of COVID. It was the year I found out that I was sick. I started out thinking it was a cold, and it expanded from there, and they realized it was a pulmonary embolism. And after lots of research and lots of doctor's appointments and lots of blood tests, we now know that I have a liver disease, stage 4 cirrhosis. I have systemic lupus. I have multiple other autoimmune disorders. 30 years later, I found out about these illnesses. 30 years from the time we were stationed in Alameda. I have no family history of autoimmune disorders. I have no idea where this came from. Till one day somebody sent me a link about the toxic water as a veteran advocate from Loving My Veteran, and then I started to do the research. Alameda, California is a Superfund site. It has been deemed toxic. The base was closed. In 1974, they did a study, and the people who did the water in the San Francisco Bay said that the wastewater that was leaving Alameda was killing the fish in the San Francisco Bay in 1974. Fish. They were more important than the lives of the many, many service men and women and their children who lived on that base. Through the course of history, those fish were more important. In 1983, they actually tested the water in Alameda, California. The water was deemed to be toxic. And I know there's been a lot of talk about AFFF foam, and that's part of it. But there's so much other. There's paint thinners. There's degreasers. There's lead paint. There's buried ammunition there. There's diesel fuel. There's jet fuel. All of those toxins have leached into the water. The water that not only did I drink, but I made Kool-Aid for my children. And what about the other families who live there that don't even know anything? And the problem with the military is that we're transient. Because we don't live in the same community year after year after year, we're spread out everywhere. And I never would have put them together had I not have received that one email that made me start to look. I'm holding over here the list of toxins that are in that water. Things from chromium to cyanide to magnesium to benzene. I have the military, the Department of Defense material safety data sheets in my hand on the AFFF foam that says it causes kidney disease and liver disease. And we're still using that foam today. So my question is simply this: how many of us are sick? How many of us have died? How many of our children have ended up with leukemia? How many of us have had cancer? The list goes on and on. But Project Your Voice, it's projectyourvoice.org. We're going to get that information out. We're going to fight for the rights of all of our servicemen and women and the children who have lived on these toxic bases. And as we go through the next couple of months, because this project is massive, and as we go through the next couple of months, you're going to see more bases appear, and the toxins, and the side effects, and more of the information. And can I just say that I am so blessed that we reached out to Erin Brockovich, who has said she will help us in our endeavors. It is time that we survive. 2020, I was given a death sentence, the word terminal illness. 2020, I spent my life savings figuring out why I'm going to die. 2020, I went to the Mayo Clinic, and they said, we can't explain it. 2020, I'm on prescription medicines that are in excess of $700 a month. And that's me. That's not counting all the other servicemen and women and their children and their families that are facing this. And nobody wants to stand up. Nobody wants to be that support. That's what we're here for. Project your voice. Reach out. We will be creating a database as we go on, so we can come together and point out the millions of people that are affected by the toxic water that we drank. We bathed our babies in it. We made Kool-Aid for our kids. And now we're left to pick up the pieces for people who knew about it for 40 and 50 years and have allowed it to go on. So I'm asking you today, reach out. Projectyourvoice.org. Share this. Let's get together. Let's get the number of people who are affected by this, people who never even thought about this. Reach out to every other former service member that you know, their families. Let's start coming together to be your voice. I'm Stacy, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.
I love how you just like nailed it.